MGTOW Masterpiece videos are made possible by excellence within the MGTOW community. Join our Renaissance project by submitting your own Masterpiece MGTOW video today. Hello. We are all aware of the term the red pill rage. But in case some are unfamiliar with it, let me take some time and explain. The red pill rage is a MGTOW, or, if you prefer, red pill term that explains acts of anger, mainly verbal in nature. It comes about from the realization of truths behind red pill knowledge. In essence, this means Briffault's law, namely, seeing your current or past relationships in a different light. It could also mean despair. Despair that the knowledge that you now have was not available to you beforehand. In psychology circles, this would be called displacement, or acting out, well, depending on the severity of the anger, probably as a result of cognitive dissonance, as now, with your newfound information, you must change your actions and life. Many understand this. However, what many people seem to forget is that displacement and acting out are immature defense mechanisms employed by a person's inner self. A mature reaction would be to allow red pill information to sink in and effectively change one's actions in a proactive manner. Such a defense mechanism would be called sublimation. In the short term, immature defenses are expected, as they are done as a reflex. In many instances, they are the result of a person's personality, something which in turn makes them more susceptible to such reactions. Of course, if one is to accept these realities, one has to, in turn, accept that some of the theories behind Freud are valid. Now, I have difficulty accepting Freudian theories, especially when one comes to realize that he was as sexually frustrated as they come, and he wrote many of his works in search of fame. Therefore, we have to take everything derived from Freud with a pinch of salt. Despite this fact, we are able to comprehend that through the process of the red pill rage, a person may go through a variety of states that do not help him accept this newfound reality. Rage is not a state of acceptance, even if you are to adopt the view that a man may be dealing with a sense of loss or mourning. Acceptance comes later. It comes with a rationalized understanding of the material and an active state of improving one's life, which includes making changes to it in light of these newfound realizations. Many of the people in this community will state outright that they move on in their lives via acts of avoidance and hate. In truth, the acts of one's life and the way one chooses to live that life are more important than the verbal content included in their videos or the stories that they share. The truth behind every red pill awakened man lies in how he lives his life outside the internet. The essence of such a life cannot be captured merely by the content of their work as presented in MGTOW spaces or the manosphere in general. A man's chosen life is unique to the individual and can be measured by his choices. If he is in denial or in a process of rage, he may be blinded as to the soundness of his own choices. Insight is a virtue that very few of us possess. YouTube content creators are not immune to this, and some of them are unable to see their own shortcomings either. Ask yourself, is the truth you have come to realize sufficiently overwhelming as to make you crumble under the pressure of how the world actually is? You listen to and take the advice of people whose state of being mimics your own. You do this as you find them, well, more relatable. However, no growth comes from listening to such people. Rather, what needs to happen is for you to listen to people whose state you wish to achieve, whose life you wish to emulate. We marvel at the state of the world and the productivity that was brought forward by men. We marvel at the advancements in science and technology which were brought about primarily by men. Yet we make no effort to embrace a change in ourselves that would allow us to become one of these men. Recently, Elon Musk was served with divorce papers. As a consequence, he's going to lose billions. Even more recently, his SpaceX program shuttle returned to Earth following a successful launch. Now, by all accounts, Elon Musk will forever be remembered for the changes he made in society and the world in general. That aside, he will still get divorce raped. For many, I can imagine, such news makes you feel angry, or perhaps you feel like Musk deserved it. Or perhaps this news brings forward in you a state of despair. However, I see a man who achieved greatness independent of his blue pill upbringing. I see a man who has motivation and is making changes that affect the world in a positive manner. I see a man who is going to lose billions from a divorce settlement, yet he is still going to push forward with the advancement of technology and science. I see drive and motivation, and I see a goal in life. Sadly, for many MGTOW, the act of taking that idealized female interaction and relationship out of their lives has left them without much hope for life in general. That red pill has left them crushed or angry. It pushed them to acting out in ways that mainly hurt other men. Some even act out in ways that hurt men whose purpose was to awaken other men. They hurt these men because the MGTOW message they spread is not in complete congruence with what they themselves believe. Do you want to be led by such men? Do you want to take advice from such men? Do you want to continue a toxic lifestyle that will leave you and those around you worse off? There's nothing that can be achieved without a direction in life. If you want to achieve a state of contentedness with yourself, then you must understand that that will never be achieved without a clear path of how you will get there. I'm not asking for much from you other than to re examine your state of being, to stop displacing your anger about your idealized life onto others, and to take ownership of your own life. If you don't readjust your goals, your moment of red pill rage will be endless, and you will be forever stuck in that endless cycle of rage, while life swiftly passes you by. Cheerio.